Are you close to or already in retirement? Do you have a roadmap clearly telling you how to navigate it? Have you implemented it? And are you taking care of it? If you want to understand what I'm talking about, listen to this entire episode. We lay it all out for you.
We hope you've been enjoying all the episodes from Secure Your Retirement. If you'd like to keep learning and receiving these episodes, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you receive alerts when they come out. We've helped thousands of listeners get on the path to securing their retirement. Now it's your turn. Let's dive in.
Welcome to Secure Your Retirement Podcast. We are very happy and excited to talk with you today. We are continuing a conversation around the peace of mind pathway. So I just want to tell you, if you've been listening to the podcast, you're going to know we're on part 3 or step 3 of how we navigate this pathway. If you have missed the last 2 episodes, go back and start back on part 1 or step 1 of this peace of mind pathway. It'll help you realize what some of the things we're talking about today. But I just want to recap if you've listened or not, just so you understand where we're at right now in the process. Just to kind of give you the high level, we created what we call the peace of mind pathway. Envision the fact that you're on a journey. Our journey is we're getting ready for and we're living through retirement. And we're going down this path, and we come to some scenarios where we just don't know which way to go. We don't know if we've got enough gas to get there. We don't know if it's viable that we're going to make the trip. And so we want to take some things and look at that. And so we need a roadmap. We need a peace of mind roadmap, something that's going to help us feel good. And so in episode 1, we talked all about that roadmap. How do you start? You start by the goals. You start by the dreams. Then you say, okay, well then, can I do it? Well, we build a map and we say, yeah, you can actually do this trip and you're going to be able to do everything you want. Or there's some adjustments that need to be made. And then after that, we're going to have some strategies to say, how do we do it? And that's all in just getting that roadmap built and refined. Then in the last episode, we talked about implementation. How do we implement all these things? Because there's a lot of things to implement. I mean, we're not just looking at one thing. It's not just investments. Investments is one piece. We begin by building our retirement-focused financial plan. That's going to lead to investments. That then is going to lead to tax planning and tax strategy. Then we're going to move on to estate planning. Then we're going to move to healthcare. Then to charitable giving if that's something that we want to do. All of that has to get implemented, and that takes a little bit of work. So now think about it. We've built the roadmap. We've implemented it. It's taken us sometimes many months in order to get all of that done. And now we've got it. We want to make sure we don't lose it. That brings us to the third part of this peace of mind pathway. And it's the nurturing, meaning you just don't go out there and head out on the road and say, well, I got enough gas. Don't worry about it. No, I got to do maintenance on the car. If I'm in the car, I got to do maintenance. I got to change the oil. I got to make sure my tires are good. And sometimes my tires are going to get a little slick and I'm going to have to replace the tires. So I have to do maintenance on the plan. We call it nurturing. We're going to nurture the plan. We're going to make sure everything stays intact. And so we have to do some checkups. We have to check in and say, is everything going good? We call them strategy meetings. We're going to look at the strategies. We have 2 significant meetings a year to do this nurturing, to make sure everything's on track, to make sure everything feels good. And this is good too, by the way, when you start to go through turbulence in the markets, turbulence in political scenes, turbulence in geopolitical issues. You want that checkup. You want that strategy meeting to say, am I okay? So Merce, can you just start off here and let's take them through, and not that everybody becomes a client of ours at a certain time of year, but once you get into that normal cadence, we've really got 2 major meetings. So we'll kind of take the first half, second half of the year.
Yeah. And I just got to say, hearing you kind of summarize the last 2 episodes of the roadmap, what all it takes to do that, implementation, that's a lot of stuff. And so if you're listening, be like, man, that's a lot and overwhelming. And it is a lot. And the nice part about it is that we do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. People come and work with us because they don't want to do it all themselves. You can go do all the research. You can spend countless hours keeping up with all the changes that happen when it comes to retirement planning. Or you can partner with someone like us that does all the heavy lifting for you. And together we collaborate and simplify that life for you. Nurture is a big part of the retirement plan, and those two meetings that we talk about really in the first half of the year. The goal is that we're sitting down with clients and talking through we call it the financial plan strategy meeting. Strategy because we're always thinking through what can we do, what's going on, what do we need to implement in this year. So a common meeting or a common occurrence in that meeting is, we're walking through the financial plan that we have put together, and it's a bit of a retest of that plan to make sure it's kind of staying on track for the goals that we've put in place. Whether that's the travel budget that we've set, or that saving, or getting ready for that second home purchase. Whatever it is, we want to make sure that we're staying on track for it. So we revisit the plan and also try to understand, hey, are there any alterations to the plan? Are there any big things that may be coming up this year, like the car is not working well, we feel like we're going to need to get a new car this year? Or hey, we thought about we've got our first grandchild, and we want to start saving for their college, and we want to talk through 529 planning and college savings for grandkids. Life happens in good ways and not so good ways. And so taking, some time to walk through the financial plan and adjustments that are happening in it are going to be key. Also, in that meeting, we're really walking through your cash flow needs, right? If you're retired at this point, and we're walking through the plan, we got to be withdrawing money, because Social Security is not enough for most people, and not many people have pensions anymore. So it's, we're tapping into the assets that we've worked so hard and saved for. And so how much do we need to withdraw? How much do we need to withhold on those withdrawals? What's the taxation going to look like? And then also, when we get to a certain age, which is 73 or 75, we have to make sure we're taking our required minimum distributions. We actually did a recent episode on that not too long ago with Taylor Wolverton, our EA and tax strategist. If you want to go back and listen to what an RMD is, it's a big thing and you don't want to mess it up. So in the financial plan strategy meeting, we're walking through what RMDs are, how do they work. Let's make sure we take what we got to take. And also, if you're not of RMDAs, we're thinking through that future as well. And do we want to attack this potential future problem of RMDs that you may have? We're also thinking through and making sure that beneficiaries are in place. Oftentimes, think about it, when you set up an account and you set a beneficiary, or you choose not to, and you never look at it again. We're looking at beneficiaries every single year, because we want to make sure that who you want to get the money actually gets the money, and there was no confusion there, or there was lack of attention to an account that never got updated. Those are some of the major things, but the financial plan strategy meetings can go all over the place. A big piece of it too is investment and risk, and how do we feel? Sitting here in 2025, people don't feel too good about the investment space and the economy in general. So we're having those deeper conversations around risk, and making sure that our risk, what maybe we set up a plan 5 years ago around risk, but now we feel differently today around risk, just because we're 5 years older, and yeah, we're more worried than we were 5 years ago. So we're making adjustments and reallocations, and talking through rebalancing conversations. And maybe 5 years ago we didn't want to talk about long-term care, but now we went through a certain scenario where one of our friends went into long-term care, and they didn't have a great plan in place. I want to make sure I have a good plan in place. Can we revisit the topic? So those are just a handful of items that the team goes through with you in those financial plan strategy meetings, and they're well worth it. And the thing is that we have, part of Nurture is, we don't just have that conversation once. We're having that conversation every single year, typically in the first half of the year, because we know life changes, goals change, and people are born. And so we want to make sure that we're staying on top of your life in the best way possible. The second meeting of the year, I think, has just as much weight to it, if not more, which is the tax strategy meeting led by Taylor and the tax team. So you want to kind of walk them through the importance of that and what all goes into it, Raiden?
I would say that this one is, I agree with Merce. It's a very, very big meeting, and a lot of work goes into it. And we have had so many much good feedback around this particular meeting. The way it works is that prior to the meeting, we're going to look at your last year's tax return. Taylor, she takes the lead in this. She is really our lead financial planner and tax strategist. So she takes the lead in making sure that she looks at everything. She looks at where you were last year. She looks at where what income you've taken this year. Every year she does an analysis to determine, does a Roth conversion make sense? She makes sure that she is looking for things. Are you able to, do you qualify to do charitable contributions right out of your qualified charitable contributions right out of your IRA? She looks and says, does it make sense to do donor advised funds? And by the way, I'm just telling you these things she looks for. We've done episodes on all of these different topics, so we're not here trying to describe all those. I just want you to know she's looking for it. She's looking to make sure, have you done enough withholding so that you don't have a big tax bill once next year comes? She's looking to say, did you withhold too much? Many times she's told people, don't withhold anything else for the rest of the year because they've had too much withheld. If you do quarterly contributions, have you done those correctly? Are you up to speed? One of the things I love is I had one of our clients came out of a meeting and she said, when she did, she goes, man, you know what? I have no stress now when it comes to next year because I know exactly what I'm going to pay in taxes. I know I'm completely good. And imagine she found this out in September. Most times people are not finding this out until April of the next year, and there's a lot of anxiety. She did not have any of that anxiety. So when people walk out of the meeting, they have gotten strategy, they've gotten clarity. They are no longer scared of the tax man, right? That because they know now they don't want to pay any more taxes than they need to, but they know exactly where they are. It is completely organized. It makes the first part of the year completely stress-free because they know every moving part. So I will tell you, this meeting, to come down the pathway and doing it with peace of mind, having this tax issue figured out, optimized, extremely important. Now, there's another thing of what we do in helping nurture this. For a lot of our clients, we give ongoing education throughout the year. So, Merce, you want to talk a little bit about that as far as some of the topics that we help people with?
Yeah, so the education, to us, it's very important for people to kind of understand different strategies and always be learning, right? Even Braden and I, as advisors, we're always learning, and this space is always developing. So as we hear about cool new things or there's strategies that we want to implement for our clients, we want to educate on it. This podcast is really a result of that, to give us that medium. But we do in-person events for our clients on a quarterly basis. Some of the topics, a hot topic right now that we're going to be talking about here and there is all around tariffs and what could that mean for your retirement. We've done topics around long-term care planning strategies and different elements and different things that are out there in the long-term care space to help educate people around it. We've done topics on different types of investment strategies. And so the idea here is that we want to keep people engaged. We like educating. We lead with education. And I think it just makes everyone a little bit happier knowing that we're paying attention and also passing that along your way as well. Another big thing that we have been doing for a very long time now is, and it's been a little bit all over the place. We've gotten on a real nice cadence, way back when we first started this. It was we wanted to communicate to clients on a regular basis as far as the markets and the portfolio and what's going on in there. Because one of the number one complaints that I think people have with their advisor is there's just not enough communication. So we made it a mission to try to start over communicating in a way to our clients around things like this. So we today, the way it sits, it's every other Monday. We send out a market update to our clients. So we're talking about relative or relevant issues that are happening in the market, so that you don't necessarily have to turn on your TVs and hear all the noise. You can just listen to us every other Monday as far as what's going on in the market, what drove the market over the last couple of weeks, and then also we let people know what's going on inside of the portfolios and any changes that have been made to the portfolios and the active monitoring that we are doing of the portfolios. And I think we've gotten a tremendous amount of feedback there as well. that really goes out every other Monday. At one point during the pandemic, we were doing it every single day because people, us included, were very nervous and uncertain about how things were going. So we wanted to over communicate, and we got tremendous feedback from that too. So keeping people in the loop, keeping people educated as the world develops, that's a big part of what our mission is.
All right. So it's a lot. We know that, but that's why we're here. That's why we have the team that we have. There's no way I could do it by myself. Merce could do it by himself. It takes a team of people to help people through this whole process. I hear sometimes people say, I do this myself, and I don't have any way understanding of how they say that they do it themselves. And typically what we find out is when a person says they do it themselves, they are missing opportunities. They are missing out. They're not getting some of the benefits, because there's no way I could do it for myself. And I do this full time for a living. So it's a lot, but if you think that this is something that you would like more information about, you would like some clarity, we always encourage you to go to our website, top right-hand corner, click on schedule call. We are more than happy to have a conversation with you. We hope that this has been beneficial. I'll say it again. If you didn't listen to the last 2 episodes, go back and listen to those. It'll make this one make a lot more sense. We hope you have a great week. We'll talk to you again next Monday. We hope you have enjoyed this episode of Secure Your Retirement. If you would like to learn more, we have actually created an online course called 3 Keys to Secure Your Retirement. This video course helps you to think through all the different steps as you get ready to plan for and live throughout retirement. You can access this by going to our website, pomwealth.net. In addition, you can also subscribe below to our podcast called Secure Your Retirement.
For more retirement tips, check out these videos. Also, if you find them valuable, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a like.